This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Kevin Lerena out here in Saudi Arabia. Kevin, this isn't new for you. You've been here for a while, but how's life treating you?
Of course, Saudi Arabia is a phenomenal place. We've really been treated well. I've said it several times. Thank you to His Excellency, Queensberry, Matchroom and Goldstaff for putting on a phenomenal event. And Saudi Arabia is phenomenal. I'm just humbled to be here. It's great. It's absolutely surreal, to be fair.
As I mentioned, you've been here for a while. We'll come on to that shortly, but let's stick with your fight this weekend. Justis Huni, man in the opposite corner to yourself. What are you expecting from this fight? How much of Justis do you know?
You know what? I know enough about him. I'm expecting an explosive fight. The guy is explosive. He's a come-forward fighter, but so am I. So two men are going to meet centre ring. It's going to be explosive, and that's what the people want to see. The best need to fight the best, and either one of us are going to go on to the pinnacle.
Kevin, obviously people from the UK especially remember the fight with Daniel Dubois. Wasn't to be on the knot, but you caused him a lot of problems. Do you look back and reflect on that fight as a missed opportunity?
Yes and no. Obviously, when I had him hurt, I should have taken him out, but credit to him, he managed to weather the storm and put me on my arse. In terms of what I learned to grow through adversity. So I became a better human, a better fighter. So did I learn? Most definitely. Do I regret losing? Of course, because we know what happened to Daniel. He went on to fight Usyk and got in some big fights, but credit to him, he's done phenomenal, and we're on the road back.
Compared to most heavyweights, you're not as tall as them. Obviously, Justis Huni, I saw him yesterday, a very tall guy. How are you looking to kind of cope with that and work around the advantages that Justis has?
You've got to be explosive, you've got to be elusive. You've got to be elusive, you've got to be all over the show. You can't stand in front of a man, but don't be fooled, A lot of the guys are big guys. When my punch lands, he'll know too.
Is that what you're thinking about, the stoppage on Friday night?
I always go for the stoppage. I guess that's my style, man. I've got a crowd-friendly style, as you saw. I go forward. I fear no man. I respect every man, but I fear no man. So I'm excited for the opportunity. Justis is a good competitor. He's a tough competitor. Big amateur pedigree, but I will be victorious.
Kevin, just a word as well on that sparring with Tyson Fury ahead of this fight and helping him for Oleksandr Usyk. Must have been some great rounds that you've shared there.
Most definitely. Tyson's a phenomenal fighter, great ring IQ, big man. So I learned a lot, obviously, having to get on the inside against a big man. You've got to be very elusive. Your energy expenditure is a lot more than a smaller man. So one thing I can tell you is I've learned a lot from Tyson, and he was looking in phenomenal shape too.
Kevin, what was going through your mind when you heard the news about the cut which delayed the fight with Oleksandr Usyk? Obviously, it wasn't yourself that caused it, but you were in camp, you would have been there, and you'd have seen everybody and everything that was going on.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'd headed home because I had to prepare for my fight, but I was gutted for him because I know how hard he worked. So it was disappointing, and it's the biggest fight of, you could call it the decade. And I'm disappointed for Tyson and Usyk because it was a phenomenal fight that was going to be had. But May 18th, Queensberry are putting on a phenomenal show with Goldstaff and His Excellency, so I look forward to that.
Victory for you, Kevin. Are you going to be pushing the man to your right about trying to get on that undercard?
You're going to have to ask him. A good victory for me. I think I know what I want to do. I never look past anybody, but I think I'd love to fight Agit Kabayel. A lot of people are trying to avoid him. I'm the guy that always stands up to the challenge, and God willing, we get the victory here. The big man over here has got to put me on.
Kevin, listen, I appreciate your time. Best of luck on Friday. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you.